I know the lady's having the scallops to start with, and then she's following that with the lamb, and you're going to have the Torino foie gras followed by the beef Wellington. So you immediately you look at the check, you know what they're eating, so that you can successfully recommend some nice wine.
Very interesting one.
You make sure that you know what they're eating.
I think you said one of the some good case points. I want to go deeper into that, right? You said business meeting, a couple, maybe a husband and wife and kids. Maybe I don't think so. Kids are allowed here, but something like that. But there are different types of personalities, right? Yeah. Give me like a good greet you would usually do if it's a business meeting, and then you say, how would you approach that? Hey, gentlemen, or ladies, or I don't know. What are the tips there?
For me, it's. People arrive, they get water, they get bread, whatever, they get menus, and then you bring the wine list and you put the wine list down. You definitely don't give it to the man or the lady, you give it to the table.
Got it.
You say, who would like to look at the wine list?
Got it.
You don't assume that the man's going to order it. It could be the lady that's going to order. Nowadays. So you offer the wine list, you put it down and you say, I'll leave the wine list with you, I'll let you look for a few minutes and then I'll come back, and if I can offer any assistance, I'm quite happy to do.
Got it.
You don't go and you hang there and you say, can I give you some advice with the wine list?
Got it.
Because a lot of people want to look at the wine list, they know about wine, they want to pick their own thing.
Yeah.
So you give them the wine list and you say, I'll be back.
Got it.
You have a look and then come back and you say, did you have a chance to look at the wine list? Can I help in any way? And then if they want to make their own choices, great.
Yep.
If they want a little bit of advice, and I think you need to establish your professionalism by saying something like, if they say, what would you suggest?
Yeah.
And you say, okay, well, I know the lady's having the scallops to start with, and then she's following that with the lamb, and you're going to have the Torino foie gras followed by the beef Wellington. So you immediately you look at the check, you know what they're eating, so that you can successfully recommend some nice wine.
Very interesting one.
You make sure that you know what they're eating. As soon as you show the guests that you know something like that, then they're like, this guy's actually taking
That's a
the
good
time.
point. Let me pause there. So for example, if there is a 14-pound burger versus a 40-pound steak,
Absolutely.
Your offerings can immediately change, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Someone's having Dover sole and the other one's having char grilled venison. It's both very different dishes.
True.
And then and I think what a good sommelier, the question that they should always ask is, a good sommelier doesn't say, I'll tell you what's good, I'll tell you what I like. It should be, tell me what you like.
Yeah.
What kind of wines do you like? And if they're talking about, I like inexpensive Rioja,
Yep.
you're in a certain price area of the list, and if they say, well, at the moment I'm getting through my 61 Petrusas, then okay, you're in a different area of the wine list.
Got it.
And I think to be very flexible with things like wines by the glass, you can say, well, maybe I'd suggest you have a couple of glasses to start with.
Yep.
With your scallops, maybe a white Burgundy, maybe with your foie gras, maybe a glass of Sauterne or German Riesling. And then look at a bottle, which will either compromise, or maybe look at a couple of glasses for main course.
Okay.
But it's really kind of about, establishing the fact that you're there to look after the customer. You're not there to impose your will on them. You're there, and I have no problem talking about budget with people as well. I mean, some people are like, you can never talk about price.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy to say to whoever's ordering the wine,
how do you say that? Like any good ways to
usually indicate it on the list. So you may say something like, you might be looking at the white Burgundies, and you might point at something like a Petit Chablis and say, are you looking for something from this region? £20. Are you looking for something from this region? £60. Or are you looking for something for this region? £150.
Yeah.
And then they'll say, I'm looking for something for that region, or whatever. So then you get an idea what budget they're working on. And it's really just about asking them questions. And then, when you start to know people and they start to know you, then they start to be more trusting of you, and they start to be more adventurous.
At some point you would want to close that, right? Like if it's just a lot, you would say, you know what, I think this Pinot Noir from New Zealand would be a good start.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think to a certain extent, when you first meet people, to do more of the downselling is good, because people come in and they think, this sommelier is going to rip me off. You're going to recommend the most expensive bottle of wine on the list. Yeah. But if they say, I usually drink, Von Romani, then you could say, well, I tell you what, we've got this really good Marsanais, which is fantastic. It's in a similar region of Burgundy. This is great value for money, great producer, amazing vintage. You should try that. And if they see that, you're recommending something they're quite happy to spend £100 and you recommend something for £50, they'll be like, okay, this guy's good.